Brother, let me ask you something dangerous. Have you ever met an older woman? Maybe she's 35, 40, or even 45, and for some reason you couldn't explain it. But it felt like she knew something you didn't. Her eyes hold you longer than they should. Her smile feels intentional. Her words, carefully chosen. Her energy, magnetic. And yet here's the shocking truth. Older women are playing a completely different game. This isn't teenage flirting. This isn't surface-level attraction. This is psychological warfare. And most men have no idea they're being tested. See, older women don't chase. They invite. They won't giggle. They won't blush. They won't make it obvious. Instead, they'll drop hidden coded signals designed to pull you in, without you even realizing it's happening. And here's the painful part. If you miss these signals, you lose the game before it even starts. You'll walk away thinking, she was just being polite. But the truth? She was flirting, silently, powerfully, strategically. Today, I'm going to unlock the 10 secret psychological signs older women use when they flirt. Once you learn these, you'll decode attraction instantly, and you'll never be confused again. So are you ready to uncover the secrets she'll never admit? Because after today, you'll never look at an older woman the same way again. Let's dive in. Sign 1, the prolonged microgaze. One of the strongest psychological flirting signs older women use is what I call the prolonged microgaze. See, younger women often make their attraction obvious. Quick smiles, long stares, nervous laughter. Older women? They've learned restraint. But here's the trick. Even when they hide their feelings, their eyes can't lie. Imagine you're at a cafe in Manchester. You're waiting in line, and a confident woman in her late 30s is behind you. She doesn't start a conversation. She doesn't even smile right away. But when you glance at her, you notice something subtle. Her gaze lingers for half a second longer than it should. Not a full stare, not a quick glance, just enough for your subconscious to register it. That micro delay is intentional. Why? Because older women understand psychological framing. They know that if they look at you just a fraction longer, your brain starts questioning itself. Wait, why did she hold my gaze? Was that accidental? Is she into me? That's the hook. That's how she plants curiosity in your mind without saying a single word. The psychology behind it. Harvard studies on subconscious attraction show that eye contact longer than 0.7 seconds activates the brain's mirror neurons, making you associate closeness and connection with the other person, and even if nothing's been said yet. Older women master this effortlessly. They flirt through micro behaviors that bypass logic and go straight into your subconscious. So next time you notice that half-second linger, don't ignore it. It's not random. It's calculated magnetism. Sign 2, the strategic touch. Older women rarely flirt with words first. They flirt with calibrated, strategic touches that create instant subconscious attraction. Here's the thing. Touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and older women know this instinctively, but they'll never make it obvious. Imagine this scenario. You're at a networking event in downtown London. An attractive woman in her early 40s joins your group conversation. You share a funny comment and everyone laughs. That's when she does it. She lightly taps your forearm for half a second. Just a soft, fleeting touch. And then she pulls back immediately, acting as if nothing happened. But something did happen. That 1-second touch sent a psychological signal straight to your brain. She's comfortable. She's connected. She's open. Why it works. Unlike younger women, older women don't gamble with touch. Every movement is intentional. It's her way of bypassing verbal communication and going straight to your nervous system. Psychologists call this the anchor effect. When physical touch is paired with laughter, warmth, or confidence, your brain anchors positive emotions to the person who touched you. And here's the fascinating part. Older women understand this unconsciously. They know one well-timed touch is 10 times more powerful than any compliment. But here's the catch, and this is critical. If you don't respond confidently when she does this, she'll pull back immediately. Why? Because older women are hypersensitive to hesitation. They're drawn to men who remain composed, men who treat her touch as normal, not shocking. So when you feel that subtle tap on your arm, don't freeze, don't overthink. Hold your frame, smile slightly, and continue the conversation naturally. That's when you flip the dynamic. She realizes she can't faze you. And that's when her attraction intensifies. Sign 3. The deliberate pause before responding. Older women have mastered one powerful psychological weapon younger women often overlook: silence. Imagine this. You're having a casual conversation with an older woman in a New York coffee shop. You say something funny, and instead of instantly replying, she pauses, looks straight into your eyes, and only then gives a soft laugh. That pause isn't accidental. It's calculated. Why? Because she knows anticipation builds attraction. Psychologists call this the tension effect. When there's a delay between stimulus and response, your brain locks onto the moment and perceives it as more significant. In flirting, older women use this to make you work harder for validation. By hesitating before responding, she subconsciously forces you to seek her approval. But here's the trick. If you break under that silence and rush to fill the gap with nervous chatter, you've lost the frame. Older women test confidence constantly. So when she delays her response, mirror her calmness, lean back, maintain eye contact, and let the silence breathe. Because in that space, attraction grows. Sign 4. The subtle personal compliment. Unlike younger women, older women rarely compliment surface-level traits like "you're cute" or "nice shirt." No, they go deeper. Picture this. You're at a social dinner in Los Angeles. You've been making the table laugh. And suddenly she leans closer and says, "You know, I like how calm you are in conversations." Notice something? She didn't compliment your looks. She complimented your demeanor. This is intentional. Older women target character-based compliments because they understand something powerful. Surface compliments trigger ego. Deep compliments trigger connection. Psychology studies show that when someone praises personality traits, it activates the brain's ventral striatum, the same region linked to long-term bonding and trust. So if she compliments your confidence, humor, or intelligence, she's signaling something stronger than casual flirtation. She's emotionally investing in you. The key? Don't overreact. A calm, appreciative smile is enough. It shows you're used to feminine attention, and that drives her curiosity through the roof. Sign 5. She mirrors your behavior subtly. Imagine you're sitting in a cozy coffee shop in New York City, sipping your latte, and you notice an elegant older woman at the next table. She's chatting casually with her friend, but somehow every time you adjust your posture, she does the same. When you touch your cup seconds later, she does too, and when you lean back, she follows. Coincidence? Not at all. This is one of the most powerful psychological signs older women use when they're flirting, and most men completely miss it. It's called mirroring. In female psychology, mirroring isn't random. It's a subconscious attraction trigger. When an older woman mirrors you, it means her mind is silently aligning with yours. Her body is saying, "I feel connected to you. I want us to be in sync." And the fascinating part? She probably doesn't even realize she's doing it. Let's break down why this happens. Older women, especially those in their late 30s, 40s, or 50s, tend to be emotionally intelligent and psychologically mature. They've had enough life experience to understand subtle social cues. But here's the secret. When they're truly drawn to someone, their instincts override their control. They mirror naturally without thinking. The psychology behind mirroring. Studies in behavioral psychology show that when someone feels attraction, their brain activates the mirror neuron system. This literally makes them copy the gestures, tone, and body language of the person they're interested in. This means when an older woman mirrors you, she wants to create rapport without saying a word. She wants you to feel comfortable around her. And most importantly, she's giving you a green signal. How to spot it accurately. But here's where most men fail. They confuse coincidental gestures with connection. So instead of asking for closeness verbally, they let their actions do the talking. It's almost like planting a subconscious seed in your mind, making you associate her presence with comfort, warmth, and chemistry. How to respond like a pro. Here's where most men mess up. They either freeze or overreact. Both kill the vibe instantly. Instead, mirror her energy. If she gives a soft touch, lightly return the gesture at the right moment, but slower, more confidently. This sends a powerful subconscious message. I see you, and I'm on the same wavelength. In dating psychology, we call this touch reciprocity, and it's one of the fastest ways to deepen intimacy without saying much at all. Sign 7, she plays with her hair or jewelry around you. You're sitting at a rooftop bar in Manchester, enjoying a quiet evening. When an attractive older woman joins the table next to yours, she's dressed elegantly, soft curls falling around her shoulders, a delicate silver necklace resting on her collarbone. At first, she seems relaxed, sipping her wine. But as you strike up casual small talk, you notice something. Her fingers gently start playing with her necklace, twisting it lightly. She tucks her hair behind her ear, then lets it fall forward again, almost as if she's not even aware she's doing it. This, my friend, isn't random. In female psychology, playing with hair or jewelry is one of the most subtle yet powerful flirting signals, especially among older women. It's a nonverbal, subconscious way of saying, "I want your attention. I want you to notice me." The psychological meaning behind it. Here's where it gets fascinating. These little gestures are connected to self-soothing behaviors. When an older woman is attracted to someone, her nervous system goes into slight overdrive. Her brain releases dopamine and adrenaline, causing micro signs of restlessness while like twisting jewelry, touching hair, or lightly stroking her neck. But here's the twist. For older women, this isn't about nervousness the way it might be for younger women. Instead, it's a strategic form of sensuality. She knows, consciously or unconsciously, that when she plays with her hair, your attention naturally gravitates towards her face, her lips, and her overall femininity. Older women in places like London or Birmingham often use this flirting sign subtly because it creates intrigue without coming across as too direct. Common patterns to watch for. There are 3 specific hair and jewelry patterns older women use when flirting. 1. Twisting or rolling jewelry. If she's looping her necklace chain around her finger while talking to you, it's a clear psychological displacement cue. Her attraction is being channeled through a repetitive, soothing action. 2. Tucking hair behind the ear. This is incredibly powerful because it exposes the neck, one of the most sensitive and vulnerable zones in the human body.
In attraction psychology, revealing
the neck is considered a subconscious invitation signal. 3. Flipping or stroking hair. A playful toss of the hair or gently running her fingers through it signals heightened awareness. She wants to look her best and draw your gaze. The science behind it. In a behavioral study conducted at Cambridge University, researchers discovered that when women are attracted to someone, they perform what's called preening gestures and small, automatic grooming actions like fixing their hair, adjusting jewelry, or smoothing their clothes. For older women, this instinct is even sharper because they're fully aware of how visual triggers influence male attraction. It's not about insecurity, it's about amplifying femininity. Pro tip: how to read the context. Not every woman playing with her necklace is flirting, of course. The key is to combine behavioral clusters. If she's laughing and touching her necklace, if she's making prolonged eye contact while tucking her hair, if she leans slightly closer as she does it. When these happen together, you can confidently read it as a strong sign of attraction. Sign 8. She maintains prolonged eye contact with you. Let me set the scene. You're in a cozy book cafe in Cambridge, sipping your cappuccino, when you notice a confident, elegant woman across the room. She's flipping through a novel, completely absorbed, but then she glances up, and this time she doesn't look away. Her gaze lingers, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, maybe more, and then there's a tiny, almost unnoticeable smile forming at the corners of her lips. This right here is one of the most powerful psychological flirting signals. Older women use prolonged eye contact. Why it's so effective? In psychology, eye contact is often called the silent conversation. When someone locks eyes with you and holds the gaze longer than socially necessary, it creates an instant bond. Older women understand this deeply. Unlike younger women who may glance quickly out of shyness, older women are far more intentional. When she holds your gaze, she's not just looking. She's communicating attraction without saying a word. The science of the gaze. Research from Oxford University found that mutual eye contact activates the brain's limbic system, which controls emotional bonding and attraction. When an older woman looks into your eyes, her brain releases oxytocin, the connection hormone, and guess what? Yours does too. This creates a psychological feedback loop. She looks at you, your brain feels connected. You hold eye contact, her brain mirrors the same reaction. This shared emotional moment builds intimacy rapidly. How older women use it differently. In dating-rich environments like London, Liverpool, or New York, older women rely on prolonged eye contact more than any other flirting signal because it's low risk, no words, no rejection. It's subtle. It feels natural and effortless. It's powerful. It creates immediate magnetic tension. For example, at a wine tasting event in Kensington, an older woman may catch your eye, hold it just a second longer than normal, and pair it with a soft smile. That combination of long gaze plus micro-expression is a green light if you know how to read it. Pro tip, the 3-second rule. Here's an expert dating psychology trick. If her gaze lasts 3 seconds or more and she doesn't, immediately look away when you notice. Chances are very high she's flirting. But here's the advanced move. Test the signal. Hold her gaze calmly. Add a subtle, confident smile. Watch for her reaction. If she smiles back, tilts her head, or even glances down before returning to your eyes, that's a strong subconscious sign she's interested. The hidden layer of vulnerability. Prolonged eye contact also signals emotional openness. Older women, especially those in their late 30s to 50s, don't waste time giving deep gazes to people they don't find worth their attention. When she does this, it's her way of silently saying, I see you, I notice you, and I want you to notice me too. Sign 9, she finds subtle reasons to touch you. Imagine this. You're at a quiet cafe in Brighton, sipping your latte and scrolling through your phone, when an older woman you recently met walks in. She smiles, joins you at the table, and the conversation flows effortlessly. But as she talks, you notice something interesting. She gently places her hand on your arm when laughing at your joke. Later, she brushes an invisible piece of lint off your shoulder. At one point, while leaning forward to emphasize a story, her fingers lightly graze your hand. At first, you might think this is accidental, but it isn't. Older women who are interested in you will often find subtle, socially acceptable reasons to touch you. This is one of the clearest and most powerful flirting signals, especially when it's combined with other signs, like prolonged eye contact or playful gestures. The psychology behind touch. In dating psychology, physical touch triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. This creates an instant emotional connection between two people. For older women, touch is even more significant because they're highly selective about who they allow into their personal space. In busy dating hubs like London, Manchester, or Cambridge, personal space is everything. If an older woman crosses that invisible boundary to touch you, even subtly, it's rarely accidental. These small touches are her way of silently saying, I feel comfortable with you. I want to create closeness. Different types of subtle touches. Older women use a few common touch gestures that are often subconscious. 1. The arm tap. During laughter, she taps your arm lightly. It's quick, natural, and feels innocent, but it's a soft test of physical closeness. 2. The shoulder brush. Fixing your collar, brushing off imaginary lint, or accidentally resting her hand on your shoulder for a moment. This is one of the most powerful subconscious signals. 3. The hand graze. When she passes you something, a menu, a glass, her phone, her fingers lightly graze yours. These brief touches may seem small, but in psychology, they indicate growing intimacy. 4. The playful push. Some confident older women use light teasing, a gentle push when joking or disagreeing, and to build a fun, flirtatious vibe. The science of contact chemistry. A fascinating study at University College London discovered that even the lightest, intentional touches activate specific brain regions related to trust and emotional bonding. That's why older women use subtle touches strategically. It bypasses verbal communication and directly builds attraction. And here's the key difference. Younger women might touch out of habit or nervousness, but older women are much more deliberate. When she touches you, it's usually a sign she's fully aware of what she's doing. How to respond without overstepping. When you notice these touches mirror her energy, don't escalate too fast. For example, if she taps your arm, return a soft touch later during the conversation. If she brushes lint off your jacket, give her a small compliment in return. Maintain eye contact while smiling subtly. It deepens the connection naturally. This balance of reading the signal and responding gently is critical because it keeps the flirtation comfortable, respectful, and tension-building. Pro tip, watch for touch clusters. A single random touch doesn't always mean attraction, but when she combines multiple touches with other signs like playful laughter, leaning closer, and making prolonged eye contact, it becomes a clear, undeniable green light. Sign 10, she remembers small details about you. Now picture this scenario. You meet an older woman at a networking event in Oxford. You chat casually for 10 minutes, sharing little things about yourself. The book you're currently reading, your favorite cafe near Cambridge, and a story about missing a train last weekend. A week later, you bump into her at a wine bar and she says, "So, did you finally finish that book you were reading?" At that moment, you realize something powerful. She remembered. When an older woman remembers small details about you, it's one of the strongest signs she's genuinely interested. Why? Because in today's fast-paced, distracted world, most people forget 90% of what you say, unless they care enough to remember. The psychology of attention. In neuroscience, there's a concept called selective attention. Our brains naturally focus on what we find most relevant and emotionally significant. If she recalls tiny details like your favorite drink, your weekend plans, or the name of your dog, it's not random. Her brain tagged you as important. Older women, especially those living in busy cities like London or Bristol, interact with hundreds of people weekly. Yet if she remembers specifics about you, it's a subconscious sign you've stood out from the crowd. Types of details she remembers. 1. Personal preferences. Your go-to coffee order, the book you're reading, or your favorite restaurant in Liverpool. 2. Life stories. She recalls the story about your first job or that road trip you mentioned briefly. 3. Future plans. If you casually said you're attending a concert next weekend, and she asks how it went, it's a clear sign she's invested. 4. Micro moments. She remembers tiny, seemingly irrelevant details, like the name of your pet, a hobby you mentioned, or even your favorite football team. Why this is so powerful. Remembering details requires mental energy. If she wasn't interested, she wouldn't put in the effort. This is especially true for confident, independent older women. They don't chase anyone casually. It also reveals something deeper. She's emotionally attuned to you. When she recalls specific details, she's silently saying, "I value what you share. I want to connect with you on a deeper level." How to test this signal? Next time you chat, casually drop a small insignificant detail about your day. See if she brings it up in your next conversation. If she does, congratulations, she's demonstrating genuine interest and emotional investment. Pro tip, combine with other signs. When this sign shows up alongside others, prolonged eye contact, playful touches and leaning closer, you're no longer guessing. You're reading a clear emotional pattern. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 10 secret psychological signs older women use when they flirt. Most men never spot them. They miss the prolonged gaze, the subtle touches, the future-threaded jokes, and they walk away clueless. But you? Now you know the code. Remember, this isn't about guessing. It's about understanding female psychology at the deepest level, so you can read intentions instantly and respond with absolute confidence. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.